Hey everyone, welcome to Healing Through Your Story. I'm Leslie Karen Hammond, known by many as the Empowering Story Whisperer. Excuse me, I'm going to be right up front with you right now. I am going to make every effort not to start coughing or sneezing through this broadcast, so it will be short, just coming down with something. So this week it's a little different. It's a little backwards. Normally I write the blog first, then I do the Facebook Live, and then I let you know what the awesome complimentary worksheet is that goes along with it. Well, since I've been a little under the weather, we're doing the Facebook Live first. So thank you for whoever just popped on. I appreciate it. So I already have my topics all lined up. Oh, hey, Lori. So my topics are already all lined up, so I can speak about this topic really well, and I'm sure you're going to appreciate it because I think this is a thorn in probably every woman's side. So, asking for help. How much do you like to ask for help? This is when that smile, you go, not so much. Well, a few things about asking for help. One is, I'm sure that you have had at least one experience where you've asked for help and someone who at one point said they would be there for you was not available, or the kind of help that they gave you wasn't exactly what you were looking for. Or third, someone just outright refused you and thought whatever that was that you wanted help with was like stupid, or it was ridiculous, or that you had no business doing it anyway. So because of all of these experiences that we've all had with asking for help, we tend to be really resistant. And one of the huge things, and I don't know about you, but I struggled with this for a long time in my 20s and my 30s. Okay, I'd be lying if I didn't say it crept into my 40s. But I didn't ask for help because I thought it was a sign of weakness. Now I'm going to try and drop this camera down just a little bit. Now I realize that that couldn't be, here we go. Okay. Now I realize that that is such a load of BS. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness. It is, on the contrary, it is a sign of strength and a sign of courage. Now, if when asking for help, it's done so from an energetic perspective of weakness, is it any surprise the kind of response one might get? So it's all about, I'm completely getting away from the word mindfulness and attempting to get away from the word mindset to keep it all out of here. And I don't know if you can see it, but bringing it all down to the heart. So whenever you approach anyone, regardless of whether it is simple conversation or it's asking for help, do so from a strong, energetic place. A place of what would happen. Okay, here's something for you to imagine. Imagine the difference on how these, what these two scenarios might look like. So the first one is and we'll use women because this group is mostly women that watch this. So imagine a woman that goes and asks for something. Help, time off, permission, you name it, any of those things. So imagine what it looks like when this woman goes and asks for something and does so with her head down and the shoulders kind of curled in and, you know, kind of like walking slowly, almost apologetically. What kind of message does that body language send? It's certainly not, I mean, can you imagine if a salesman walked up to you like that? There's no way you'd buy anything from that person. So that's scenario one. Scenario 2. A woman asks for something because she knows, she feels that she deserves it. No questions asked. Can you see that? No questions asked. She believes she deserves it. Two very different ways for a person to carry themselves and their energy. I mean, second scenario, a woman that feels worthy, head's going to be up, shoulders are going to be back, walking in a more powerful way, not arrogant or forceful, but the energy is so completely different. So the next time that you need to ask for something, play with asking from a point of worthiness. Not entitlement, but worthiness. Those are two completely different energies. So worthy, excuse me, uh-oh. There's that tickle in the throat. Hold on, water break. So from a place of worthiness, that means that you have been doing some, we'll call it work. You have been making efforts or making strides to attain what you want, and you need a little extra help getting there. Entitlement is the energy of not doing anything and thinking that it's just going to come your way. Easy peasy, no work involved. Very different energies. Now, there will always be an occasion where you ask for help and it does not get delivered in a way that you were thinking. So how do you get around that? Well, be really clear on what you're looking for. And I'll share this, I'll share a story. A woman that I met when I was in Phoenix, I was training for going to China next month. And this woman is an advocate for domestic violence. And she shared with us how many women in those situations get approached by people that say, whatever you need, you know, you just come to me, whatever you need, I'm there for you. And if the woman who will be asking for the help does not tell the person what they want, you can have a situation where the woman who needs help goes to this person 3 weeks or a month later and says, you know, when you said you would help me, well, I need $1,000 or I need a place to stay for a month. And then the person who said they'd offer help, all of a sudden they're like, that's not what I meant. So what her advice was, ask the person what they need. Let them tell you, and then you can be very clear about what you can and cannot do. So, how does that apply to this asking for help? Well, when you ask for help, be very specific on what you're looking for. And pay attention to the responses. If you're doing this over the phone, then listen for pauses, breaks in someone's voice, throat clearing, distraction, anything like that that may sound like they weren't really serious about helping you. And better yet, if you can ask them in person. So this way you can read them in terms of paying attention to what they do with their face and their body language. Because you can always tell when, well, most of us, you know, you can tell when someone is fibbing because their energy changes. And they might not look you right in the eye. It's amazing how many people have a hard time looking someone in the eye. So if you ask for help in person, you'll, without a doubt, get a really strong sense of whether or not they mean it and whether or not they will help you. Because whether your eyes are telling you the truth or your ears are telling you the truth, maybe it's your energy, maybe it's your body that's telling you the truth because you're just not feeling it. You can tell that this person really doesn't mean it. So play with asking for help. It's okay to ask. It really is. And when someone asks you for help, be really clear on what you can and cannot do. What are you willing to do? You don't want to help someone to the detriment of you, because that does not serve anyone. And, this asking for help thing, it gets into some boundaries too, because sometimes when you ask for help, then it could feel a little sticky, meaning the other person might try and hold something over your head. So if you feel a sensation like that, then maybe that's not the person to ask for help. And truth be told, I didn't even mention this before. That was one of the reasons that I didn't ask for help for a long time. Because my first husband, it was like anytime I asked him for something, I always felt like I seriously owed him. Like whatever it was that the payback was, the price was too high, or I could never fully pay the debt. And therefore, it just really turned me off to ask anyone for help. In fact, truth be told, I lost a job once because I wouldn't ask for help. I was a manager of a retail store, and it was a lumberyard, and this was back in the early 90s. And here I was, a woman in a man's world, and I felt like it was weak to ask for help, and I didn't. And I struggled, and the store ultimately suffered, and they brought someone in to replace me. And I was, honestly, it took them 2 years to do it, so that was 2 years of suffering. But after learning that lesson, 2 years? Who needs to suffer for 2 years? If I asked for help, things could have shifted. I might not have gotten what I wanted, but at least I would have opened the door to discussion, and I would have found out what was and wasn't available to me. So play with asking for help. Play with reading people so that you can get a sense of how their energy is. And if you play with it before it's time to really need help, then you'll be building your confidence because you are exercising that muscle, and you'll get more comfortable doing so. And if you just want to get playful, with your significant other or a dear friend, ask them for help with something that you outright know they don't want to do. Or they're really uncomfortable, or they will refuse you, but they might say yes just to be polite. So this way you can practice reading, that vibe of energy. So for my husband and I, the joke would be, I would ask him to make polenta. But he would do almost anything for me, but hates making polenta because you just have to stir it and stir it and stir it and stir it. Royal pain in the neck. So play with asking for help. So when the time comes when you really need to ask for it, you'll be better prepared. And I'm sure you're not asking for help in areas where you need it. And truth be told, there are times when I haven't asked for help with certain things because it feels like I'd get more crap because I asked. And I would, it almost feels like asking would be too much work. So, that's a thing with me and my son. I think once he hits a certain age, they don't mow the lawn anymore and whatnot, but so everybody still has some work to do in those realms. But if you build the muscle and you get better at asking for help with the little things, then when it comes time for the big things, you'll be on point, you'll be ready, you'll be able to do it. So I would love to tell you exactly what the complimentary worksheet is for this week, but I haven't written it yet. So I can't tell you what it's going to be, but I can tell you that you will be able to find it at LeslieKarenHammond.com/25 download. I suppose I should be celebrating that this is the 25th episode. Woohoo! But I project that it'll be done within the next 48 hours. And once it is, I will post that link here so that you can check it out. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for those of you who have joined me, and because I was running a little late today, I am grateful for those of you catching this on the replay. And please, please, please play with asking for help. You deserve help. You are worthy. You do not need to carry the weight of everything all by yourself. Asking for help is like a collaboration. And I would be remiss if I did not say asking for help does not mean just asking humans for help. That also means asking the divine. They've got your back. They're there for you. Ask and then graciously receive, and be willing to graciously receive whatever help you get, because it may not always come in the form that you think or the form that you believe is best for you. If you haven't figured it out by now, they have a sense of humor up there. They like to mess with us. I think once in a while they get bored. They roll some dice and say, ooh, I bet this. Ooh, I bet they'll do this. So play with it. Thanks so much for being here. Lots of love and light to you. And we will see you next week. And I will post the link and share with you what this awesome worksheet's going to be once I get it created. Mwah! Bye for now. Lots of love and light. Take care.